All right, so here we are. Here we are. Good morning, good day. Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Thank you so much for being here. We're really excited to share with you a piece of the action on the Wealthy Mofos show that's coming up, and just can't wait for my good friend Harrison to join us and be with us. So I'm excited to share with you some of the secrets as to how it works and what's really going on with the coaching industry and how we do this. So just give me a second here. My good friend Harrison here that cannot get into the link thanks to technology, but we can figure that out. No worries. I'll just send him the link and he should be able to join. So here we go. Here we go. So today, I really want to talk to you about you. We want to talk about how you want to become that successful leader in your business, that $1 million coach. You really want to stop the pain. You want to start attracting the high paying clients. You want to scale your business. But there's so much out there. There's so much lag. There's so much negativity. Social media has over complicated it, and there's struggles in time management, work-life balance, what do you do, where do you go, and the mindset has become so limited that it frustrates everybody. And as a matter of fact, it's actually not justifiable. This limited imagination, this limited resources that you have, even though we have so much abundance, this insufficient visualization skills and unemotionalized material that's out there that's not taking you anywhere. So myself, Harrison Klein, that's what we're working on. We're working on helping you overcome all these difficulties through a system that we put together, and we are very excited to share with you how we do it. So, Mr. Harrison Klein, just about to join us. Welcome, Harrison. Thanks for being here. I was just telling everybody today about our goal and our excitement to share with them how, even though there's so much information, so much abundance, but the secrets are around us, but people don't see it because they're blinded to the fact of what's available, and they doubt themselves. Their businesses are not growing. They're not confident, and from within them, they feel that they're just not going to make this breakthrough. And as a matter of fact, many of them have given up. And philosophically, this does not make sense in this time and day when the internet's available, when we have so much information and so much available, but yet these coaches, these consultants, these small business owners are not able to do it. So my name is Kamal. This is my partner Harrison Klein. We've come together and we created this wealthy Mofos concept to help you become that next coach, that next business entrepreneur, the $1 million coach. Because we want you to have what we have. We figured out how to do it, and we want to share with you today. We're going to talk about the first secret that we're going to uncover in our upcoming launch next week, early in June, June 8th. And that's what we're going to talk about. Secret one: what would a coach need to get to the $1 million coach? Harrison, welcome. Glad to see you made it to the lake. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Kamal.
Good to hear
Hey,
from
I'm
you.
so happy to be here. Okay, all you guys out there, how are you? everything's good. Everything's good here. So yeah, let's talk about some really good things. We're on a mission. Basically, we're on a mission to take individuals and their businesses to the $1 million level. So this is really a way to go through a process or a system to get you into a higher space. Now, Kamal talked about the fact that a lot of coaches are not able to do that, but the things that stand in the way basically are their doubts in their ability to learn, their lack of trust in themselves, and they're incongruent in their goals, their values, and their strengths. Once we start to get that mindset stuff going for most coaches, basically they start to have breakthroughs one after another. We become leaders at what we love to do, and if we're got a coaching area that we really really care about, we become Luke Skywalker. We become the Yoda to Luke Skywalker out there. So the truth is that what we want to do makes all the difference in the world. And in the Chinese vernacular, in the Chinese vocabulary, the word crisis and the word opportunity are the same. So even though the economy may be going through, or there's so much doubt about the economy, and it may even be individual crisis in terms of making money, this is the greatest opportunity that there is, because when we're in crisis, that's when people need you the most. That's when people need us the most. And bottom line is somebody who can step up in a time of need and great need are the ones that become the millionaires and the billionaires. I mean, more millionaires were made during the Depression than at any other time in history. So, it's a matter of having the right idea, the right system, and the right application for connecting with vast numbers of people. And coaches are the ones that help do that. I don't know any great human being out there in the business world, in the athletic world, in the thought leadership world that doesn't have a series of coaches. Everybody has a mentor. Everybody has had more than one. And the mission that we have are how to rewire that brain so that you come into the highest space that you can possibly do, and get a prosperity consciousness and get the prosperity skills it takes to go all the way. So, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to help you with effectiveness. We're going to help you with clarity. We're going to help you with vision. We're going to help you with competence. So once we get those things going, you will be, a rock star in your own niche, in your own lane. So, and it's not that difficult to do. It's just that people don't, they don't vibrate correctly. They don't get the demands that they need to have fulfilled in a way that is lucrative and prosperous for them. And that's what we're going to help you do. We're going to clarify that. We'll break it down. We'll show you the competence, the concentration, all the elements of growth processes. Carl Jung said, "He who looks outside dreams. He who looks inside, awakens." But he also said the greatest area of fulfillment is where people have the greatest need. So that's really pretty great stuff.
That's
That wasn't the exact quote, but it was close enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible. And what I love about what we're going to share with hundreds of coaches out there is that these secrets that at once upon a time they were kept hidden, they were not shared with anybody. And
That's right.
social media nowadays has just made it so complicated and so frustrating that we've got thousands of really heart-centered people that are not making it. They are suffering, they are miserable, they've paid the money, they attempted to build their business, and then they were taken the wrong way, and it's just not happening for them. But the methodology that we put together, and Harrison is going to share a little bit more of a story, like on the first secret, how we get this clarity creation to happen, how we get the focus, because we need you to focus, we need you to connect to the source and have this belief system inside of you to help you create this new world that you want to create as a coach, as an entrepreneur. So Harrison, if you can share with the group here on part of the secret one on the I am principle, maybe in a story, like if you can, what is it that they're going to get? And because I really want them to show up to the show on June 8th. It's coming up in 8-9 days. So please go ahead.
Well, you know that ever since ancient times, men and women have been focusing on rewiring their brains into higher vibrations, higher consciousness. They want to satisfy the demands of the ego and develop a reverent and holy relationships with each other, and so on and so forth. So it's really important to understand that rewiring the brain is also the stuff of all great literature and sci-fi stories and movies and all kinds of things like that. So there are multiple ways to do that. In the ancient world, it was all about spiritual threshold. It was all about going through the process of the hero's journey, the dark night of the soul, so that you could learn from the adversity that people had to go through in order to rewire their brain to become bigger, better versions of themselves and become much more prosperous. In the modern world, it's all about inspiration, and it's all about, the growth of the scientific methods to make greater experience happen. In the ancient world, basically, you'd have to go through a shaman. You'd have to go through a series of tests. All indigenous cultures have these series of tests that you have to go through. In the Australian, you have to do walkabout. It means you go out with no money, and you stay out for X amount of time until you have an enlightenment experience, and then that rewires your brain. When you come back, you get the rewards of that. It's all about a hero's journey. So the hero's journey has a particular kind of methodology, and in the ancient world, everybody had to go through the hero's journey in order to become wealthy in some form or other, and get the rewards of what people want. The hero's journey starts out with leaving. It's a dissociation from everything you know, from the people you know, from the environment you're in. Then you get a call. Then you get a call. You get a calling, something that you want to do, something different. And in the hero's journey, basically, the first time you get a calling, you reject it because it's too abnormal for you to experience this calling. You don't know whether it's your destiny or not. It's too odd, and it's too adversarial for you to think about. But pretty soon you begin to accept the calling. Something
Mm.
you get a mentor or a guide who shows you the path, and the path guides you through the process to accept the calling and get your destiny. You go through the series of adventures, and it is an adventure. Rewiring your brain is a great adventure, and it's a fun adventure as well as a dangerous adventure. Dangerous, you have to be, everybody who achieves anything goes through some sort of a process of dealing with the danger or the adventure of something, really great. And so you go through that. So once you start to deal with the adventure, the next step is you start to, overcome the difficulties. You start to learn from the adventure in a way that makes you competent, that makes you courageous. And you have to be courageous to get there. You have to be curious. If you want to get to a higher space, you have to be curious. And, once you get to the higher space and you start to overcome these processes and these problems, the next thing that happens is you get, you generate your courage. And when you generate your courage, the next thing that goes on, once you generate the courage, you become unstoppable, and you gain the rewards from the unstoppability. And that's what we want to talk about in our launch. And you gain that unstoppability so you can go to any place you want to go. Now, rewiring the brain in the ancient forms and all the ancient heroes' stories basically has been that kind of a method. You leave your environment, you disassociate from everything, you have a calling, you reject the calling, you find a mentor or a guide that takes you through the process. The guide then gives you the tools and the information to get over the adversities that you're going to have, and then from that situation you go into the rewards.
Mm.
You gain the competence, and then you get the rewards, and you bring it back and pass it on. So that's the hero's journey. But in modern world, you don't have to go through those same kinds of adventures. You get inspired. So in the scientific world that we live in now, there's been so much research over the past half decade about how the brain works and what it means to experience different parts of things from the brain place, where you don't actually have to go out and do the things. You can now, basically, they can scan your brains, they can see what lights up. They have what they call neuroplasticity at this particular point. And
Mm.
neuroplasticity is a scientific method to create new neural pathways, which is what rewires the brain. You can make a neural pathway for wealth. You can make a neural pathway for prominence, dominance, for any kind of a thing that you want, for leveraging your situation. You can make a new neural pathway toward anything, and it's not just affirmations. It's not just repeating the words and trying to do that. It's not just visualization either. It's a much higher process than that. We rewire the brain through a combination of different things scientifically. There's so many different methods now to rewire the brain. There's cognitive behavioral therapy. There is psychedelic and psychotropic drugs. There's all these kinds of therapies that are out there to do this, but you don't need any of that stuff. What you need is a plan. We need a guide to take you through the process to get to where you want to go. And Kamal and I have been there. We're doing that. We've done that, and we've helped other people. I have a story, that I wanted to tell you, and I know we're limited on time, but
That's okay. I just want to share with them as you get ready for the story, that what I would like them to do is to go to that Wealthy Mofo website, and I'm going to share it here
yeah,
quickly so that they see it, and then we'll tell them the story. But that's what we want to do. We want to share with all of you out there how you can get this transformation, how you can get that next level success. And you go to wealthymofos.com, and right away you're going to see that this is the real deal. This is you're going to get over 60 years of experience here poured into you in a very short amount of time, because this journey does not need to take a lifetime for you. We've already spent the time and the money and the effort, and all you have to do is just show up and follow some directions. So when you go to the site wealthymofos.com, you just click here and you put your name. It's that simple, and then you're going to see the quality of the content, the quality of the material. There is nothing like this anywhere out there. Harrison spent over 40 years in this business, coaching coaches and helping many entrepreneurs. And now we want to help you out there to really transform. Why we want to do that? Because that's the mission we're on. We want to reverse all this negative pain and negative results and get you to overperform and achieve accelerated abundance. So today we're briefly speaking to you about Secret One, but there are many more things that we want to share with you. So we really encourage you to go to wealthymofos.com, join. It doesn't cost you a thing. Book the time, and even if you can take a day off, show up for those 4 hours. It's really going to be transformational for you, because Harrison's got a reputation. By the way, I should have mentioned that at the beginning, that once you meet him live and in person on Zoom, and eventually once we host the events, he is known for what's known as an instantaneous transformation. He will instill the belief in you so fast that it doesn't need to take you years to overcome many things. You just get there. That's his reputation. He's known for that all over the world. So with that, we're gonna finish with a story that Harrison's got, and we're gonna be showing with you every day this week at 12. We'll go 15, 20 minutes sharing with you our mission. I would like you to show up, invite your friends, and if you don't feel that this is for you, you must know somebody that could use this information. So we'd appreciate your help by sharing the good news. Harrison?
Well, at one point, I'll tell you a personal story, as well as how this also applies to some of the greats. I've been studying genius since I was 12 years old. So genius is being, when you break it down, genius is being exceptional in one area. And usually it's a matter of sustained focus. So sustained focus, persistence, and having a clarity of vision. So those are the most important things. Now, when I was coaching several years ago, I had a student who came to me who was quite down on his luck. He was going through a divorce. He was hurting badly emotionally. He was losing his money because his divorce was very volatile, and he didn't have time to focus on his business. So his state of mind was both depressive and lethargic and angry. So he went through all this process. And so what we did was we began to work with him on this process of the hero's journey, of this process of going through the disassociation from the environment, getting a calling, becoming rejecting the calling, accepting a guide who will take them through the process, and then moving up into the courage and the tenacity to go through the adventure. So when he came to me, he was uh, in the midst of this really contentious divorce, and he didn't have any money. He was down to next to nothing of his money, but he gave me his last money. And, we took him through the process. In the last 3 years, he has become the world's greatest, highest paid sculptor in the entire world. He has he went from not having a business, not having a foundry. He was an artist sculptor, and he used to make these 18-foot high sculptures for federal buildings and for airports and things like that. And he lost his business, he lost his foundry, he couldn't cast in iron and bronze anymore, and he was just lost. The life had beat him up so badly that he couldn't do anything. So we worked on this process, and in a matter of about, 13 weeks, he had manifested $250,000 out of nowhere. Somebody just sent him a check for $250,000, which paid for the entire life of his daughter's education, all the way through PhD if she wanted to do that. He got a gallery given to him, no strings attached, in downtown New York on 28th Street in Manhattan. And if you know anything about real estate, that's some of the most impressive and expensive real estate in the world. Again, he had no money when he came to me. He gave me his last few $1,000s. And then after he got this, after he opened his gallery with strictly him, just his sculptures and things, he sold a sculpture to Arnold Schwarzenegger. He sold a sculpture to Elton John, and suddenly he started to get interviews all over the place. He was all in magazines and things like that. At one point, the White House sent out an invitation to 360 of the world's most notable sculptors. And having been in all these magazines, after selling these sculptures to Elton John and Arnold Schwarzenegger, basically they sent him an invitation. Now we're talking about competing with, the world's greatest sculptures. And we talked about the idea of going through we talked about the idea of going through the hero's journey because the invitation was to create a World War I monument in 60 feet from the White House on the White House lawn, and it's 61 feet long. There's 28 figures in there, and he submitted a drawing, and he submitted a clay model of what he was going to do, and he won against all 360. On the process of the hero's journey, And guess what? He got awarded an $11.9 million, I guess a reward or payment for that monument. So he's now about ready to have that appear on the front lawn of the White House. It'll be somewhere between this month and the end of the year. They've been working on it for 3 years. $11.9 million from zero.
Woo! Woo!
So, and that's all just one story. And I can tell you, dozens of other stories of people we've mentored. I've worked with all the great thought leaders out there. And, on tomorrow's live, I'll show you some of the people who have endorsed me.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. We're gonna show you some of that. This is incredible, and there's like hundreds of these stories, and that's why when I met Harrison over a year and a half ago, like, man, we got to do something. And so we're excited. We've been working on this for some time, and we really, really love you out there. We want you to win. We want you to succeed. So go to thewealthymofos.com, put your name, And it is that simple. And you're gonna see a different way of thinking. You're gonna be enlightened. You're gonna be awakened. That hero's journey, you can have it, and these numbers will become small, even though they're big, once you start being around this kind of energy. So it is a thriving community. We encourage you to participate. We want you to win, and we really want you to share the good news, right? When you hear something good and your heart tells you when it's good, you share it, right? So there's many out there that are suffering that don't need to suffer like this, and we want to reverse this pain and really help them. So we encourage you to reach out. There's many ways to participate in the action. You could come in as an attendee, you can come in as a VIP, platinum, many different ways. Where it's all available. So we're here to help you, to take you from where you are to where you want to go. So I really want to thank Harrison for showing up today, and we're going to do that every day this week till the beginning of the show, which is in 9 days away. So really, really, don't wait. Don't say you'll do it later. Just take the link and takes 2 seconds to register. All right.
Yeah, we want to instill, the health of great prosperity within you rather than the sickness of lack and difficulty and struggle. So, we come to a point where we view prosperity the same as air. So it's just always there. You don't even have to think about it. You just breathe it in, breathe it out. There's a circulation that happens, and that circulation happens for you. Everything happens for you, not to you. And it is all energy. And if you get the right mindset, if you get the right skill set, if you get the right focus and vision and persistence, and it's not even that difficult to do, because once you get inspired, there's no struggle involved. I mean, you're going to want to wake up every morning and jump out of bed and do something great, because you are great. You've already got that magnificence in you. So we just want to bring it out. Education means to bring out the greatness within you. So that's what we want to do.
That's
Right?
so awesome. So excited for this. So look for tomorrow's show. We will share with you some of the elite testimonials who Harrison's worked with and myself. So come back tomorrow at 12 o'clock, 15, 20 minutes or so. And I really thank you, Harrison, for showing up today. Thanks so much for giving from your heart. We love you all out there. Be awesome. Have a great, safe day. Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day weekend. And thanks for all those who serve. We thank you very much. We love you and appreciate all the things that you've done. And we continue to live in a nice, safe space here in the U.S. because of all the sacrifices. So thank you all very, very, very much. We appreciate you.
We want you to look your problems in the eye and say, F off.
Woo!
And we'll see you then. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you then. Cheers.